All right, one more question.
Hey, so one of your cues for culture is hip hop.
Yes.
And from our first interview, you were always into the big artists, but
yes.
more recently you've featured Game and Nipsey and A Boogie. As you've got your nuances from culture when it comes to building a business in America and the UK, will you align yourself with UK rappers as a source of learning the culture, like Giggs and Skepta, Big Shaq, JME? And my question is,
yes.
what nuances will you be looking for when you talk to those artists to teach you things about things here in the UK?
Yeah, so what my dear friend here who's known me for a long time knows, I've always really loved hip hop. As my Instagram over the last 2 years has exploded, in parallel, Mike Boyd, who's always been close to me, was freed up to really do strategy for me, and we took an approach about 18 months ago to get very serious about the emerging hip hop artists that we thought in a 5 to 7 year window could become the Drakes or Lil Waynes, and what would that mean, and get in the trenches of culture. The question is, am I thinking about that in a UK lens as well? And it's kind of interesting because maybe you've noticed this, and it's probably why, not probably, it's why we're sitting here right now. I've taken the approach in the UK, and we're opening up Singapore in February, we're gonna open up Brazil, it looks like now in 2019 as well. It's interesting, my ambition to get deeper into proper football, having a son and daughter that I want to like have a team and go through it, knowing that I'm gonna be here 6 or 10 times a year, and because I think authenticity matters, because I've historically not gravitated to the artists that you've just mentioned, I've actually taken the macro thesis of what emerging hip hop artists do for me in a pulse of culture in the US. I think the culture of Premier League and proper football culture in the UK and Europe as a whole is the way I'm thinking about that. I'm trying to spend time and listen and pay attention. I spend an enormous amount of time looking, in the US it may be World Star as a Instagram account, but for the way I'm thinking about Europe and the UK in general, it'll be 433 that I'll spend more time looking at. And so, interestingly, especially given that we're sitting here together, the approach is not going to be emerging hip hop artists in the UK, unless, just like everything in my life, one artist catches my imagination at the right time. You know this, almost everything you love, food, sports, whatever it may be, it was one thing that you fell in love with or were curious about that got you deep into the rabbit hole. So I wouldn't say never. I allow for a lot of serendipity, but I also am thoughtful and have a lot of strategy. I think the culture of football here is what I'm spending a lot of time on, both selfishly because I want to suck myself into it because I want to get into it, and because I think it is an incredible, important currency of the culture. All right, I have a real important question.
Yeah.
How are you? Why has he gotten better looking since I've seen
Fucking hell.
and you've gotten worse?
I don't know.
Explain.
Still 5 years now.
Mate, the part of India that he comes from, they don't age.